Dear seekers, wish you all the best of this day. Today being the day of Buddha Purnima, the full moon day of Buddha, it is also called as Vesak. In some parts of the world, our Buddhist friends celebrate today and commemorate the birth, the enlightenment, and the Maha Samadhi, the death of Buddha. Buddha Purnima is the day of illumination, basically. The commemoration of birth itself is a sign of new birth, a sign of new life, a sign of new progress. The birth leads gradually to enlightenment, the consciousness of oneself, and it leads to the perfection of life, the fullness of life. Everyone, all the created realities are called to attain this Buddha reality. It should be attained by all persons. It is the real cause, the reason for our human birth. The whole nature is full of the dynamic power of new life and enlightenment. The whole nature is filled with enlightenment, because the nature vibrates the dynamic power of recreation, of consciousness, of bringing to new reality, new existence. If we have the real capacity to understand the nature, each and every minute part of the nature becomes a teacher, becomes a guru, because they have lot of things to say to us. For that we should be prepared, enlightened. That is why we have to respect the nature. Because of our ignorance, we don't give proper place to the nature in our daily life. The same way, we have to work out our own liberation, our own enlightenment. Often we are looking for external realities. The external reality may be the other person, natural realities, or even the supreme reality. But in truth, we have the fullness of enlightenment. For that we have to work it out. Our liberation is in our hands. Our fulfillment is in our capacity. If you are surely able to understand this reality, we have all the necessary things for our attainment of fullness of life. That is the beginning of enlightenment. This enlightenment leads us to go to understand the nature and other realities and to have a meaningful consciousness with others. Though we are by nature having all the capacity of enlightenment, we are darkened, we are covered up and closed by the darkness of ignorance and selfishness. Since we are not having the proper understanding of nature, our own self and the supreme realities, we are bound by various factors of ignorance. If you are able to remove that ignorance, gradually we come to enlightenment. Our basic duty of life, the basic duty of our spirituality is to remove the added darkness what is already accumulated on us. That is why the meditation is a process of purifying our own self. If you are able to purify properly, by its very nature of purity, the hidden, the natural, the embodiment of enlightenment, the truth will appear. That is why the seekers used to say, since we have all powerful realities to attain the self, what we have to do is the purification. The seekers, those who know themselves, remove all the bondages of the past. They will take away all the bondages of the future. By the grace of the Supreme Reality hidden within us. If you are able to really understand the luminous power of the Supreme Reality which is hidden within us, we can remove all the bondages of the past and we stop all the bondages of the future. Thus, our life becomes so pure, so clean, thus our dealings, our attitudes, our behaviors are in a pure path. That is intelligence, enlightenment and compassion. If you are able to understand the luminous power of ourselves, we overcome the ignorance. It leads us to be a person of compassion. If you are a person of compassion, by its very nature, our selfish attitudes, behaviors are vanished. That is why meditation is a discernment of purifying our own self. At the same time, it leads the seeker to be a person of compassion, a person of love, a person of sympathy and personal empathy with others. Thus, we have to go the progressive way of discerning ourselves. That is why we say we have to work it out, our own liberation, our own purification, our own enlightenment. Thirdly, the discernment is to be explained. There comes the question, who am I? Why I am suffering? How can I be relieved of this suffering? Who am I? Because of the ignorant, most of us are having a negative attitude towards us. We don't know who we are. We think we are a limited person. No, we are the ultimate capacity within us. That ultimate capacity is the potency for the fullness of life. We are called to be divine. We are called to attain the perfection. That is enlightenment. That is the fullness of life. For that, we have to work it out with the discernment, gradually removing all the darkness of ourself. That is the wholeness of our reality. Naturally, in our natural way, we are limited. In our psychological way, we are limited. We are ignorant. In our spiritual way, we are limited. In our mental activities, we are limited. We have most of the time, by the very nature of ourselves, by the very nature of a mental reality, even by the nature of the spiritual reality, we are filled with ignorance. With that ignorance, we go to the temple, we go to different places, holy places, and pray so many things, and we meditate so many ways. Still, we are suffering. We cannot be able to really understand the reality of ourselves. That I have to work it out my own reality, but I have to overcome my own self. Basically, they are packed with the cause and the effect. What is the cause we are going on making in our daily life? All the activities are having their own results, their own effects. I am, because of my actions and reactions, I have to integrate them. That is very important thing. I am doing so many things in ignorance because it affects a lot of things in ignorance. So I am in the vicious cycle, the vicious wheel. That is why it is said the wheel of Dhamma has to be rotated. That is, the wheel of Dhamma is a righteous life lived in every day, that I move the progressive way of leading the people to the newness of life. I have to move in a proper way, in all the positive way. We have to overcome our own attitudes regarding the nature, the natural attitudes, the unnatural attitudes, the negative attitudes we have lot regarding with the nature, regarding with our own self, regarding with our mind, and regarding with the spiritual activities. Here I have to remove the negative attitudes, the negative thinking, the negative way of relating with the others. Thus I move the wheel of Dhamma, the newness of life. Thus I am gradually overcoming my own ignorance by working out, by thinking, by discerning my own relationship with the nature, with my own self, with the supreme reality or the spiritual realities. Thus I make a progress of enlightenment. It gradually leads to the progressive positive thinking with the compassion and love. I look all realities with compassion if I am purified. I have a different perception, different attitude to all realities if I am enlightened. That is why the meditation is a process of purification, so that I may become a person of compassion, love, sympathy, mercy with others. This is the gradual progress, signifies the process of enlightenment. This enlightenment should be practiced, carried out, and fulfilled in my life with my own capacities, with my own exercises. That is why in the spiritual life we should be, first of all, the people of Dhamma, the people of righteousness. That is the discernment of understanding my own sufferings with all the realities of life. Then I gradually think how I act, how I react, how I produce the results, the effects of my own activities. Thus, I come out with a newness of life. I do many things with compassion. They produce a lot of positive vibrations, the positive values, the positive elements of life. It is the progressive understanding of illumination. We are called to attain the Buddhahood, the Buddha enlightenment. Thus, while to celebrate the Buddha Purnima, let us also be conscious we are called to attain that greatness of life. Let us hope for it. O Supreme Graceful Light, justice, love, and peace be in all beings. Be well, be well, be well. Thank you.